The first of all, starting point of great accomplishment is to dream big dreams. All really exceptional men and women dream big dreams. They allow their minds to float. They think of what they could be and what they could do and what they really, really want. Here's an exercise for you. Take a piece of paper later on and write at the top, dream list, and then make a list of all your dreams. If you're married, sit down with your spouse and say, honey, let's make a list of everything we'd like to be, do, or have in the rest of our lives. But what about this and what about that? No, decide what's right before you decide what's possible. Don't decide, well, we can't afford this and we couldn't do that. Stop. That's helplessness. That's habit. That's these old negative habit patterns holding you back. Before you even decide what you want, most people are figuring out why they can't have it. What you do is you say, wait a minute, if I had no limitations, and this is the key, you dream as though you had no limitations. Nothing's holding you back. Imagine you have all the time, all the money, contacts, all the education, influence. You have everything going for you in the whole world. And just simply decide, these are my dreams, and write them down. Project yourself into the future and say, where do I want to be in 5 to 10 years? If I could design a perfect life, so my life was perfect in every respect, my relationships, my income, my work, my family, my health, my home, my car, what would it be? This is the starting point of great achievement, because what will happen is that if you can clearly define that target, you can hit it. You eventually always hit the targets that you set for yourself, but you can't hit a target that you can't see. Imagine you are absolutely guaranteed of success in any one thing, big or small, long-term or short-term, in the whole world. What would it be? The fact is that when you start dreaming big dreams, you know what happens? Is your self-concept goes up, your self-esteem goes up. The very fact that you allow yourselves to dream big dreams causes you to feel better about yourself, see yourself better, think of yourself better, and it starts the process of making yourself unstoppable. You become unstoppable. People with big dreams that are absolutely committed to are unstoppable human beings. It's people with little dreams and no hopes and no plans beyond tomorrow and next week. These are easy people to stop. But people that have big dreams to make wonderful lives for themselves, they're phenomenal.
Brian Tracy just explained something that sounds simple, but almost nobody actually does it. He said the starting point of all great accomplishment is to dream big dreams. Not small hopes, not safe wishes, not maybe someday ideas. Big dreams. And the reason this matters is because your entire life eventually moves in the direction of the ideas you allow yourself to think about consistently. Most people never stop to ask what they truly want. They wake up, react to life, handle problems, pay bills, repeat routines, and years pass. Not because they are lazy, but because they never clearly decided where they were going. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim at nothing and hit it perfectly. Brian Tracy said something very important. Exceptional men and women allow their minds to float. That means they give themselves permission to imagine. And for many people, this feels uncomfortable, even dangerous. Because the moment they start dreaming, a voice shows up saying, "You can't afford that. That's unrealistic. Be practical. Who do you think you are?" That voice is not logic. That voice is habit. It's years of conditioning, years of limitation thinking, years of being taught to stay inside invisible boundaries. Brian Tracy gives a powerful instruction. Decide what's right before you decide what's possible. This is critical, because the moment you decide what's possible first, your past takes control of your future. Your current income, your current education, your current contacts, your current environment. All of those things start voting against your dreams before they even exist. And that's why most people never escape their current level of life. Think about it. If you asked most people what they want, they don't answer with desire. They answer with excuses. I'd like to do that, but I would love that. However, I wish I could. But those sentences end the future before it starts. Brian Tracy suggests a completely different approach. He says, imagine you had no limitations, no lack of money, no lack of time, no lack of education, no lack of contacts or influence. Imagine you had everything going for you. Now ask yourself, what would you want your life to look like? Not what you think you can manage, not what feels safe, but what feels right. This is where dreaming becomes serious. Because dreaming is not fantasy. Dreaming is direction. Without direction, effort is wasted. With direction, effort compounds. Brian Tracy talks about writing a dream list. This is not a motivational trick. It's a neurological one. When you write something down, your brain treats it differently. It stops being a thought and becomes a target. And the human mind is designed to move toward targets. Most people underestimate how powerful clarity really is. Your brain is constantly filtering information. You see thousands of things every day, but you only notice what aligns with your goals. When you have no goals, your brain has nothing to filter for, so opportunities pass by unnoticed. But once you clearly define what you want, even imperfectly, your awareness changes. You start noticing ideas, people, patterns, possibilities, not because the world changed, but because you did. Brian Tracy says you eventually always hit the targets you set for yourself. And this is true in both directions. If your target is survival, you'll hit it. If your target is comfort, you'll hit it. If your target is growth, you'll hit it. But you cannot hit a target you cannot see. He also asks a powerful question. If you were absolutely guaranteed success in one thing, big or small, what would it be? This question removes fear. Fear is the biggest reason people play small. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointment. But when success is guaranteed, fear has no job. What remains is truth. That answer tells you more about yourself than years of thinking ever could. Because deep down, people already know what they want. They've just been trained not to say it out loud. Now here's where it gets really important. Brian Tracy explains that the very act of dreaming big dreams changes how you see yourself. Your self-concept rises. Your self-esteem improves. You begin to think differently, even before results appear. This is critical to understand. Results follow identity, not the other way around. Most people wait for results before they believe in themselves. That's backwards. People who succeed start believing differently before success shows up. And dreaming big is often the first moment that identity begins to shift. When you allow yourself to imagine a better life, something subtle happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances. You start seeing yourself as a designer. And designers take responsibility. They make choices. They revise plans. They adjust direction. They don't complain about the canvas. They work with it. This is why people with big dreams are hard to stop. Brian Tracy calls them unstoppable. Not because they're lucky, not because life is easier for them, but because they have clarity. Clarity creates persistence. Persistence beats talent. Persistence beats luck. Persistence beats circumstances. People with small dreams don't need to be defeated. They stop themselves. They quit early. They drift. They settle. Not because they're weak, but because there's nothing pulling them forward. Big dreams create gravity. They pull you through discomfort. They pull you through boredom. They pull you through fear. When your dream is strong enough, excuses weaken. And this is why dreaming big is not optional if you want an extraordinary life. It's not about arrogance. It's about alignment. When your dreams align with who you want to become, effort feels meaningful. Here is something most people miss. Dreaming big does not mean knowing how everything will work out. It means trusting that clarity will create capability over time. You don't need the full plan. You need the direction. So if you're watching this and wondering where to start here. Give yourself permission to dream without editing. Write it down. Not what's convenient, not what's easy, but what's right. Ask yourself, if my life was perfect in every area, my income, my relationships, my work, my health, my environment, what would it look like? You don't need to share it with anyone. You just need to be honest with yourself. Because that honesty is the starting point of change. Brian Tracy is right. Great achievement doesn't begin with action. It begins with vision. And once you can see the target clearly enough, you'll be surprised how naturally your life starts moving toward it. If this made you stop and think about what you really want, leave a comment with your biggest dream. Like this video and share it with someone who needs it. And subscribe, because this channel is about you becoming more.